Okay, that should be the stream button. Do we have connection? We have connection. Do we have live? It looks like we have live. Can we get confirmation from the laptop? Thank you very much. We are live and in living color, if you will. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and mollusks. We'll go with that today. We are here at COTA, and it is wet at the Circuit of Americas here for Server 2 action in the Evolution Racing Academy Championship. Let's just see if we have any new faces. Anyone new to get to know? Anyone new to enjoy? Looking down the list. Well, not new, but Idris Cahill has returned. He missed the season opener, but he is here. We also have... Looking further down here. Nope. 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 Hey! Alan Herrera is back in the number 28 Ferrari. Good to see him back. Alan Herrera had some good results last season, and I am pretty happy to see him returning to the field, although his livery does appear to be broken in the livery pack. Hopefully we can get that fixed for next round, but for today, it is not going to be the case. We also have Chris Kuhn in the field today. That's good to see. Interesting to see him so far back. I'm used to seeing him a little bit further up in the pecking order, but he's in the 269 Honda. And the man who I'm picking for the win here today is the championship leader, the number 20 car, the Rust Bucket of Richard Oakes. The reason for this is Richard Oakes usually is the man who masters the wet weather conditions the best. And I'm hoping that he can do that again here today. Well, I'm not hoping, but I'm predicting he can do that again here today. I've seen him do some great things in the wet. But right now the pace is being set by Bearded X Badass in the Ford Mustang. Having driven a Ford Mustang in the wet. Handful. We'll just go with that. So let's get this into... Let's see. Well, there's not really enough time for me to get into a track tour with somebody. So we'll just put her into broadcast mode for now and enjoy the man who is currently leading the field, Bearded X... Oh, no, he's not. Alan Harrell. Hopping to the top of the charts. Thank you, Alan. Good work. Obviously, we're just wrapping up the free practice here, so this is just everybody getting a hand. Ooh, I like that Red Bull Porsche. Who's that? I don't recognize the livery, but I also don't see a new Porsche driver in the field. Interesting. Oh, we have Thomas Boris in the McLaren here today, 159. That's another new entry to the field. Whom I am, pretty familiar with. He's been here before. He's always kind of historically been a bit of a part-time iron driver, and we'll get to the whole iron, silver, bronze nature in a moment. Probably I'll give an explanation during the actual qualifying itself. Chat, please let me know if there's any problems with the audio. We know that can happen, and I have moved some stuff around on the desk. I did unplug the microphone, plug it back in, so you never know what has gone wrong, and sadly, it often does. It often does go wrong. So if there is something not quite functioning the way that you would like it to, please let me know, and I will do my best to accommodate the issue. Preferably during qualifying, because during the race it's going to be harder to implement any kind of repairs. We've got 27 cars today. A lot of faces missing. Hopefully they're just going to pop in a little bit late. But we'll see. It is, of course, Easter weekend here for those who observe, so there you go. All good, can hear, can see. Excellent, excellent. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. We have historically always had a couple of problems, though, over the course of the season. I do like the Stunt Possum racing Mustangs. That livery is doing it for me. That's a really lovely shading of the blue into the red, or I guess kind of like the burgundy color. It's very nice, very nicely done, gentlemen.
Green light. Show them what you got.
Hats off to whoever the artist on that one happened to be. Okay, so the iron cars are taking to the track, and let's get ourselves a track map here, shall we? A little tour of the circuit. Who's going to be first out there? I think it's known by this point that if you go out first, you're going to be the guinea pig for the track map. And it looks like it is the 313 car of Casey Jones the American, who will be giving us a tour. So we'll have the track map up, and I'll hop on the passenger camera. And we'll start when he actually hits, like, you know, when he actually starts a full lap instead of the coming out and trying to figure out his way around this highly wet circuit, which could produce a very interesting grid. Because if it keeps raining, the faster cars that come out later might actually have more of a problem. So let's talk about the Iron Championship in the Iron class real quick. The Iron guys, the red number plates, like the 313 here, these are the theoretically slowest drivers in the field. Now, they are still remarkably competent. I've actually, one of the things I've really been impressed with in the Evolution Racing Academy races I have done as a commentator is that the back end of the grid is actually remarkably pretty competent. They're not necessarily fast, obviously, you know, but they're generally capable of pretty clean racing and actually staying on the track for the most part, which is nice. There will be some moments, and particularly in this weather, we will see an Iron driver or two off, but at the same time, it's pretty good, all things considered. So, my tip of the headphones to the lads in the red. They're getting it done. So, Iron Championship wise, quick summary: we're only in race 2 of the season, of course. So, you know, keep that in mind. In a nutshell, we can turn the preview off at OBS because it's giving me a little bit of a problem. But the championship is currently led by Andreas Hansen, who had a perfect score at the Hungaroring, win, pole, and fastest lap in class. So he is at the top of the pile, followed by Felix Kramaric, Nathan Gray, Max Cruz, and Paul Scriveris. That is your top 5. Casey Jones, who we were on board with, was 7th at Hungaroring, so 7th in the championship. Easy enough to figure out. And it'll be interesting to see how much that changes here. So I don't think I see Andreas Hansen in the field, which is a bit weird. So we're going to kick off this lap, and Casey Jones, show us the magic mysteries of COTA, please. We head on down to turn 1 here, which is a left-hander. Fairly heavy braking zone, tight turn. You can see it's like almost a complete cutback. Turn 2 on the right-hander here, more or less full throttle. Little feathering needed, probably in this wet, maybe even a little brake. And then we enter into the COTA S's here, which are going to be really hard in this kind of conditions because you want to maintain as much pace as you can while also not spinning off the track. So it's kind of like a little bit like Maggots and Beckett's in that regard. A little bit of a slowdown here from Casey Jones, and then we finish off the S's here. I'll be honest here, I don't remember the turn number we're at this point, but next up will be this left-hander here. Again, more or less just full throttle. And then we head to the second cutback here, much like turn 1, where we're going to brake fairly hard, take the left-hander, move around to the big straightaway, which is not really all that straight. It's more of like a spaghetti curve. And Casey Jones and the Stunt Possum Ferrari will continue on his merry way at this point. The number 57 car is off, so we have a yellow flag on track. Then we got another hard braking zone here with a left-hander. Into, I'm going to call this like the figure 5, I guess, kind of. It looks like a 5 to me. Heavy braking zone into the right-hander, part of this as well. A little bit of a curve here, not a lot of brake, if any. And then slow it down here for the double left. There we go. Finishing off into the final section of the 5. This curve here. In the wet, we'll see some braking here, but I think normally this is more or less just a throttle feathering section. There's not really a lot of brake application. Now I will say this 186 should get out of Casey's way. That's a little bit sloppy. Because he's not on a timed lap right now. This is qualifying. This should be serious blue flag situations. Casey Jones comes across the line to set the pace at a 2:21.382. No idea what a good lap time around here today is going to be. These conditions are going to make a mess of just about anything. And the 154 of Pat Fortune moves to the top of the time charts by just 0.4 of a second. There's D. Hines across the line in third place. The 159 of Boris goes fourth quickest. And there's Andreas Hansen. So he is here today. That's good to see. This is the Iron Championship leader. Pardon me, that is not who I'm trying to get. This is who I'm trying to get. Los Patos Hermanos. The Mercedes crew with Andreas Hansen, the Swede. And the rain appears to be letting up a little bit, so we may not get as mixed up of a grid as I was kind of hoping for, because that indicates that the fastest drivers may in fact have the idealist conditions. I suppose we could hop in. Yeah, it's letting up a little bit, so we should see things get a little bit better. Currently up 2 seconds on his time is D. Hines. This lap, as it stands, would promote him ahead of Thomas Boris, but that's about it. Apologies to Thomas Boris. I say this every time he shows up. I will probably call you Trevor Boris at some point. There is a comedian / actor here in Canada, Trevor Boris. ICT Boris. It'll happen. I'm trying not to. I want to be clear. I'm trying to use that as an excuse, but it will happen. I'm just informing you of the certainty of the matter. Hines still got a good lap time going here. He's up 2.6 seconds. This would actually probably overhaul Casey Jones for 5th place, as it stands. We'll see if he can get to the end of the lap without any issue, of course, which is far from a given. This is very wet. Very wet, very messy. Also, pretty good lap going for Nathan Gray. Might actually be pole position as we speak. So let's see. Nathan Gray. Oh, and Nathan Gray's livery is working today. Excellent. It wasn't at the first round. So good to see that Los Patos Hermanos 995 car coming through nicely. And Hines has got a good lap going. There's Hines going 5th quickest, so about where I expected him to be. And Nathan Gray right now still has a pole time. He's up over a second on his prior lap. Lost a little bit of time through there, but not too much. Still on pace for pole. See what we can do here around the final corner. Just don't invalidate it. Let's go. To the line. Casey Jones, by the way, going fastest. And that is 2nd place for Nathan Gray. So Casey Jones thwarts his attempts at pole position for the time being. Pretty good lap going for Andreas Hansen right now. He's up about a little under a second. That would put him up into 5th place as it stands. Maybe turn your in-game map. Oh, you want the map off. I can see about that. I forget how to do that actually. HUD. Circuit map. There we are. Disabled, please. There you go. Well, A. Herrera's not on the track. We're in iron qualifying. Alan Herrera is not in the iron qualifying session. He is currently sitting in the pits. Maybe getting a mojito. I don't know. He's chilling, though. He's chilling. Leave him alone. It appears that Hansen has invalidated this lap, unfortunately. So that is not on the table. Anyone got a banger going? Thomas Boris has got a... I don't know if I would say it's a banger, because right now it's still only going to be good enough for 8th place. But he is making solid improvements. I will probably miss that map before the end of the day. I will say that much. You know what I should do? And what I previously have done is I put the ERA logo over the map. That way I can see the map and remember where I am on the track. And but you guys don't really see it. Maybe that's the key. Boris does put a decent little improver together, but no improvement on. Oh, Max Cruz is not doing very well. Max Cruz in the Los Patos Hermanos BMW down in 9th place. He is my pick for the Iron Championship. So to see him this far down is distressing. Could just be the wet, of course. Do like the livery. Very nice. Good to see that one's working as well. Last round, his livery was amongst the, I want to say like 3 or 4 that were not functioning properly. So to see him and Nathan Gray now with functional liveries, beautiful. Maybe they're also teammates at Las Patos Hermanos, so maybe there was a late insertion of the Las Patos Hermanos livery collection. I don't know, but good to see Max. Good to see Max Cruz in color. By the way, we've released the bronze drivers, so they are on track, but the irons are allowed to finish up their lap. So we'll stick with Max Cruz here, even though he's, as it stands, going to be 9th place amongst the irons. He is improving on his lap here by over a second, but it's insufficient. Also, Nathan Gray's out there, but Nathan Gray is currently on a lap that is not, in a word, not good. Cruz has abandoned the lap. So, Iron qualifying produces a grid of Casey Jones, Nathan Gray, Chris Kuhn. I think it's Chris Kuhn anyways. Am I wrong on that? Conrad Kuhn. Oh, it's different Kuhn. I wonder if they're related. Paul Scrivaris, Pat Fortune, 5th place. Good for him. D. Hines in 6th. Andreas Hansen, the championship leader, in 7th. Thomas Boris in 8th. Followed by Max Cruz, Clinton Strobel, and Werner Stefan. We do not have a lot of or bronze drivers today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and just 9 of them. So guaranteed points as long as they finish. We have Matthias Wiedemann in the field, sporting a new look Red Bull Cyber Racing Porsche. Oh no, that's him there. Okay, so who's the Red Bull Porsche? Chris Dancer in his classic McLaren. The BMW of the stunt possum man Idris Cahill, who's back. We have, it's Mike Golfer. Okay, I like that. His livery last round was not great, if I may say. We got Sean Young in the field. We got Adam Stewart sporting a new livery. That's a broken livery, or he's just running. Yeah, okay. So we're getting the Tech 1 livery, which I know is not what he's supposed to be running. You can tell by the Wise Racing, listing. So something has gone wrong there. Alan Herrera, who the chat has been very keen on, he was the fastest in free practice. We'll see if he can replicate here in qualifying. We also have Jeffrey Bacher in the field, as well as Adrian Marood, looking very stylish in the Ferrari. So used to him being in the Honda, it's a bit weird to see him not in the Honda. We have a comment from chat that it was Casey Jones and Nathan Gray very close together, and you are correct. They were 38 thousandths away from each other, so that is that's a tight grouping. A couple other cars, Kuhn and Scriveris, are also within a second of the pole position. But I will be honest here. When you have conditions like this, the changing conditions of wetness, I think honestly more important than just speed is going to be that consistency and the ability to adapt to the track. And I think if you can do that and you can do that well, it doesn't really matter where you're going to qualify necessarily. Within reason. I'm not calling like the last place car on the grid to win or anything, but you just have to be in the ballpark, and we'll see what happens. So we'll quickly talk about the bronze standings. We come in today with an absent championship leader. Masio Saha scored the full 20 points at the Hungaroring, pole, fastest lap, and win, but is not here today, which is a little bit distressing. Adam Stewart he's in second place. We're also missing third place Ron Morley. Chris Stancer is in fourth, Mike Golfer in fifth. And rounding off the top 10 is Jeffrey Bacher, Sean Young, Adrian Marood, my pick to win the championship, Kerry Pattenden, and reigning Iron champion, and not able to defend his title, Matthias Wiedemann. So we'll see what happens. Of course, those standings not super interesting. We're one race into the season, just the Hungaroring. So if you're in 7th in the championship, you finished 7th at Hungaroring, and it's fairly easy to figure out. Mike Golfer has taken pole position, although just a little bit faster than the Iron Drivers. Alan Herrera up into 6th place. Let's see if anybody's on a banger. Well, let's pick up the pole sitter. Mike Golfer of the Netherlands is currently in 1st place in the Porsche. The Red Bull Porsche. I'm not a big Red Bull livery guy, but I do like the dark Red Bull liveries. Something about that just tickles me. I do really like it. It's kind of like reminds me of the like very old school Sauber F1 team. I'm talking like mid '90s Sauber F1. Heinz-Harald Frentzen days, Carl Wendlinger days. So does look very good. Currently up about 4/10 is Golfer, so currently bettering his time. Herrera's got a good lap going right now, but not a threat to pole. Jeffrey Bacher also is on for a significant improvement, but it's not going to put him up too far in the field. So we're going to stick with Golfer. We didn't really get a lot of siege of Golfer in Hungaroring, so you know it's nice to get a good look. Just wasn't really in the battles, and didn't have a super interesting livery, so I wasn't drawn to him when nothing was happening. And he does go indeed a little bit faster at a 2:18.12. Let's pick up Herrera here. And Sean Young just went 2nd quickest. So Sean Young doing the things in the Porsche. Herrera, as it stands, would go 3rd quickest. We'll see if he can convert. We've also got a pretty good lap going for Jeffrey Bacher. Slated to have a notable improvement, but should be still outside the top 10. And here comes Herrera to the line. 2nd place actually does beat out Sean Young. Very nice. Illegal lap. Cahill's a bit early in his lap to really celebrate, so we'll go with Bacher. So here is Bacher, currently up 1.6 on his time. Obviously not a threat for pole position, but actually should be in the top 10. Should be up around where Cahill is as it stands. So that'd be 8th place. Adam Stewart going reasonably quickly as well. Idris Cahill going reasonably quickly as well. Mike Golfer is on an improving lap as well. So a lot of improvements going on right now. People are finding a little bit more pace, a little bit more speed. Maybe a little bit more of a dry line, honestly. Bacher ends up just 11th quickest, actually. Lost a little bit of time late in that lap. Back to the pole sitter, Mike Golfer, who is currently on a slight improvement lap. Nothing significant, but given that his gap to Herrera is just a very, very small 87 thousandths of a second, he definitely could use a little bit more time. By the way, Herrera is on improving lap right now, which right now would have him on pole position, but we'll see if he can make it to the end. He's still got a fair distance to go. And there's a spin from Mike Golfer, so sorry, Mike. It looks like we casters cursed you. Herrera is currently on pace for pole. Adam Stewart up ahead of him has also got a banger going on here in the Lexus. Should see him improve substantially into the top 10. So Stewart's in a great position here today. No Morley, no Morley, and no Saha means that Stewart is very, very much looking at a big championship gain, assuming that he can bring it home, obviously. Which is, you know, not nothing. Not nothing. Oh, I have somebody complaining about their livery. No. I downloaded the collection. If it's not there. If it's not there, it's not in the pack. don't know who that. I do not know who that is that's messaging me. There's not a lot of options. I have most people's. Brandon Harvey, hello, sir. Are you not in the field today, Brandon? Not racing? I'm disappointed. Okay, so Herrera did not take pole. I was distracted by a DM situation. Adam Stewart's still on a banger. Going faster. That Lexus is picking up speed. I know they're working real hard on trying to get that Lexus up to pace. It's been doing well in Split 1, but there's not a lot of it here in Split 2. And it's a developing car trying to get back into the swing of things. I believe it was not permitted in the BOP last season. So, good to see them out there today. Bit of a smaller grid than we had in Hungary, but still good. Giving COTA a miss. Wasn't really enjoying the track. Got a takeaway order with the family. Sir, you got to race at the tracks that you don't enjoy. Got to do that. Make it happen. No one will hit I don't know. In this weather, I wouldn't count on no one hitting Scriveris. I wouldn't count on no one on anyone not getting hit at some point. This is gonna be a thing. Thomas Boris. Okay, so Thomas Boris is there. I have dealt with Thomas Boris and his missing livery. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be blunt here. If your livery is missing from the field, it probably means it's not in the pack. I sync the liveries like literally minutes before the race. So either if I'm missing your livery, I don't want to say it's not my fault, but the chances that it is my fault are pretty limited. There are many technical issues with the stream. There are many technical issues with the stream that I can be blamed for. But the liveries, I must say, are the thing that are not. So at the end of bronze qualifying, we have Sean Young on the pole position in the number 23, followed by Alan Herrera, followed by Mike Golfer in the lovely Red Bull. Couple of the Iron Drives are still up there, though. Casey Jones, 4th place. Nathan Gray, 5th. Conrad Kuhn, 6th. Jeffrey Bacher's in 7th, followed by the man's Paul Scrivaris in the Latvian, sporting the Latvian flag. Adam Stewart and Idris Cahill rounding off the top 10. All right, let's talk real quick about let's just pick a random car here. Anyone in the chat have someone they want to see? If not, we're going random. Whoa! El Perry. Stealth Bomber will entertain us well in the meantime. We're going to quickly talk about the main event, as it were, the Silver Championship. Today, coming in with the championship lead is Richard Oakes. He was the winner at the Hungaroring. No fastest lap, no pole position, so he's just got 18 points on the board, the lowest of any championship leader. These are the conditions he excels at, and I'm expecting big things from the Rust Bucket. Second place in the championship belongs to Matt Gale. Third place, Bearded X Badass, who managed to get third place and pick up a fastest lap last time out. Fourth place belongs to Robert Volt. Fifth place to Professional Hater. Sixth place to Oral Ja, the pole sitter for the Hungaroring, who unfortunately had a rough race. El Perry, who we're watching right now, is in 7th place, followed by David Slater, Dennis Hook, and Mickey Taylor. That is your top 10. We were missing a couple of members of that top 10, admittedly, so it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. So, pole position currently belonging to Bearded X Badass in the Ford Mustang. I'm just saying the Ford Mustang being on pole in the wet is a bit weird, and not representative of Mustang's performance in the wet in real life. Speaking from experience. Currently, the best improving lap is Professional Hater in the Barbie Audi. Barbie Racing. Currently about a half second up, which is not going to take him any higher in the field. He's still going to be 23rd place, but he has historically been a pretty quick single lap driver. Man, it's embarrassing me. Too bad. The Nissans were embarrassed last season by their shameless cheering section. It is your turn. Good luck in the race, balls. Hater's up a full second now. Bearded X Badass has a moderate improvement going on right now. L. Perry's got a little bit of an improvement as well. Not really seeing great things from the Silver crew right now. Dennis Hook's up to 4th place. Matt Gale in 6th. And no lap times yet from Taylor, Volt, or Oaks. And Slater has not left the pits. I wonder... One moment here. I'm going to take us back to see the chat. Somebody picked up a DQ. 995. Who's the 995? Okay, Nathan Gray might be in some trouble vis-a-vis qualifying. I don't see anything about Slater being disqualified from qualifying. Interesting. But he has not left the pits, so whether that is by personal choice or league mandate, I don't know. There's Matt Gale in the Cyber Racing Porsche, moving over from the Nissan brand after last season. See what he can do. So it is still Bearded X Badass from Sean Young, Alan Herrera, Dennis Hook, and Mike Golfer. So 3 bronzes in the top 5. This is, don't get me wrong, at Hungaroring we saw a remarkable amount of actual parity in the field. But now it's just fairly amazing. Fairly insane to see the number of... Even, again, Casey Jones and Nathan Gray are still in the top 10. They are iron drivers. This is borderline unthinkable. And no one's really ripping it up. It's not like I see somebody who is currently massively improving. Like, Gale's got the best improvement going right now. And, don't get me wrong, the lap he's on right now will take him into the top 4. Might even be enough to get pole. Right now it's enough to get pole. But this is still insane performances from the depth guys in the field. The bronzes and the irons. They are doing exceptionally well this season. So, big round of applause, please. Big round of applause for the guys that make the grid. And Matt Gale indeed does go fastest, so the Brit is on pole with very little time left. And no real threat in sight. I'm looking for championship leader Richard Oakes, and I find him in 8th place. That is not phenomenal. The best hope for a pole change right now is Dennis Hook for Cyber Racing, and I don't think Dennis would even really object to me saying it's not going to happen. as he gives chase to the stealth bomber of El Perry in the Nissan. Oh, maybe. Hang on. Hang on. He's caught the draft and he's pushed it. He's 7/10 up right now. Let's go. Let's go. I said the door was closed. Come on, Dennis. My former co-commentator for just a single round, to be clear. He had to miss a round and he joined me in the commentary booth, which was appreciated. I do love having a second person. He might have it in him here, although Gale is currently on a buzzing lap as well. So the showdown between the cyber racing Porsches. Let's see what happens. Right now, Hook has a fast enough time for pole. However, behind him, Matt Gale is going even faster. We could see the pole change hands. Bang, bang. Also having a good lap right now is Richard Oakes. Fast. Oh, no! Hook doesn't complete his lap. All right, that puts Richard Oakes versus Gale. Here comes Gale. Currently 3/10 up. Lost a little bit of time. And he's slowing down and possibly abandoning this lap as well. Or just made a mistake. I don't know which. Currently got a minor improvement. I think there were 7. I think there were 7 silvers here today. There's Gale improving on his time slightly. Richard Oakes will have the last word. Right now, he is fast enough to threaten Herrera's 4th place. But we'll see. This is not a pole lap. In fact, it's barely an improvement. Alright. So the grid for today's race here at the Circuit of Americas. Matt Gale will start on front row joined by the Ford Mustang of Bearded X Badass. It's an all-bronze row 2, Sean Young and Alan Herrera. Row 3, Dennis Hook and Mike Golfer. Row 4, El Perry and Richard Oakes. Row 5, Robert Volt and pole sitter of the Iron Class, Casey Jones, in an impressive 10th place. Nathan Gray and Conrad Kuhn are row 6. Jeffrey Bacher and Paul Scrivaris, row 7. Row 8, Adam Stewart and Idris Cahill. Row 9, Matthias Wiedemann and Pat Fortune. Row 10, D. Hines and Andreas Hansen. So Hansen's going to have to work his way up if he's going to keep that championship leader. Adrian Marood continues to let me down. Adrian, we're going to have words. We're going to have words. I picked you to win. I picked you to win. Adrian Marood and Thomas Boris on row 11. Row 12, Chris Stancer and Mickey Taylor. Row 13, Max Cruz and Professional Hater. Row 14, Clinton Strobel and Werner Steffen. And then the non-qualifying David Slater is alone on row 15. I do not, again, know if Slater was qualifying banned or if he was just optionally starting at the back. They're both possibly true. This is a case where you might actually even just start from the pit lane. Indeed, shout out to Sean Young. Shout out to everybody from the bronze and the iron category. He's mixing it up with the silvers. That is incredibly impressive. And yet, happy holidays to anyone. Whatever it is you're celebrating this weekend of religious significance or non-religious significance, hey, enjoy yourself.
Alright, we have some wet conditions.
For me, I'm just enjoying a day off from taxes in the month of April because if you've ever been involved in taxes on a professional level, it's a thing. It is a thing. This time of year, I'm currently doing 75-hour weeks, so it is a bit much. So Matt Gale does have a penalty inquired at the Hungaroring of 5 seconds, as does Richard Oakes. So his job is going to be that little bit harder despite starting on pole position to try to take this championship lead. Although, to be clear, Oakes, who is the championship leader, is the other guy with the penalty. So there you go. on the table. We had a question in chat how many silvers we had racing today, and the answer is I'm going to go with 8.5. I don't know what is up with David Slater. He is on the grid, but if he's on the grid, then we have 8. Pardon me, we'd have 8. The iron contingent looking strong with 11, and the bronze contingent with 3, 4, 7, 9 drivers. So, unfortunately, only the irons are competing for not scoring points today. One of them will not. Right now, that would appear to be Werner Steffen because he is the furthest back. As is tradition on the stream, you may if the chat has somebody we want to watch at the start, please let me know. If you got that spider sense, that tingly sensation that says crap is going to happen right here, please feel free to express yourself. Just gonna maybe familiarize myself with some of the liveries I'm not especially familiar with. Clinton Strobel, for example. Werner Steffen, another one. These are guys that I have not had the pleasure of seeing strut their stuff quite as much as the others, and we want to check them out. Paul Scrivaris, I need, sir, this livery. Nathan Gray is apparently a popular choice for the watching at the start. Ooh, Camber 2. I do like this one. I like this one. This should give us the nice fan out that happens at the start of the race. So we got one championship. Leader not here today. That is the bronze champion, Maciel Saha, who is electing to sit this one out. Adam Stewart and Chris Dancer, Mike Golfer, all with a big chance to make up some ground. As is a former champion, 2 seasons ago, Jeffrey Bacher was the champion. He finds himself in 6th place right now, and we'll see if he can make up some ground right now. He'll be starting from P13. That's him there in the gold and black orange Lamborghini. All right, Chad says that they are working on the Scrivaris livery. All right. I accept that. I accept that good things take time. But you're hyping it up now. It better deliver. He's not the only playing car out there. There's a couple of others. I know there's something wrong with Adam Stewart's livery, for example, so that's got to be corrected. And other than that, we also have Thomas Boris, who has communicated to me that his livery should be functional, but it doesn't appear to be. So, a couple other people in the field need to get their game together just a little bit. I do have to say that as far as team liveries are concerned, the best of the bunch is the Cyber Racing Porsches. The reason I say that is that every time I see a Cyber Racing Porsche, I know it's a Cyber Racing Porsche. But at the same time, I can identify each of them individually. Give me enough time and I'll know exactly which Cyber Porsche we're looking at. As far as liveries concerned, I just have to get that brain muscle memory going. But like they're all distinct but clearly related. So 2 thumbs up to that team and their ability to produce some creative liveries. Although I will say Matthias Wiedemann, who is on that team, has had a worse livery each season. The first season I did, I think, was his Apex livery. It's only gotten worse since. But, hey, the liveries are not for me to enjoy. Oh, yeah, no, I want to be clear. If Matthias Wiedemann is the one making his liveries, every single one of them has been a banger. I just think that, like, his best one was the first season I did. And it's gotten worse since. Very much want to be clear. Relative statement. Worse, not bad. All right, grid is forming up, and we are ready to kick this pig. Matt Gale will lead us to the line with Bearded X Badass on the front row. Here we go. We are looking at Nathan Gray right now, the car who starts inside row 6. Joined there by Conrad Kuhn. He is the second highest ranking iron driver at the moment. Here we go. We are live, and the green light has been given at COTA. Leading the way at the start is Matt Gale. Looking for feisty is Jeffrey Bacher, who's going down the inside in the Lamborghini. Here we go. Things are panning out. No chaos yet. No. Oh, L. Perry with a spin. The Nissan is off. Adam Stewart's Lexus is also off. There's some chaos near the back. Gale continues to lead, though, and has gotten a great start. Sean Young in his second place in the second Cyber Racing Porsche. He has gotten a jump on Bearded X Badass as well as a couple of other people. And things are getting a little bit messy. Also, there's a penalty on... nope, just 2 cars with penalties. Okay, that was already covered. So it's Gale from Young, from Bearded X Badass. Herrera is in 4th place, followed by Richard Oakes. So he made a good start and is trying to make his way through. He is the wet rain master. Dennis Hook, a bad start. He slipped down to 6th place. Followed by Mike Golfer, followed by a very good start for the Honda of Conrad Kuhn, who is up into 8th place ahead of Nathan Gray. And behind them, that is the Nubs racing car of Robert Volt. Casey Jones is fallen down to 11th place, so not a good start for the Iron Pole sitter. He is followed by Paul Scrivaris, and then it is Idris Cahill. Jeffrey Bacher, 14th place. Pat Fortune, 15th place. Followed by teammate D. Hines. Thomas Boris is off to a good start. He's up into 17th place. Although battling and dropping down 18th. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy! Contact! Saw that coming from a mile away as Adrian Maru went down the inside and got clipped. Professional Hater in the mix, followed by David Slater, who is racing and has come up from last place to 18th place now. Adrian Maru down to 20th, followed by Mickey Taylor, Matthias Wiedemann, L. Perry in the... recovering stealth bomber, Chris Stancer, Max Cruz, and then it is Adam Stewart near the back with Werner Steffen, Clinton Strobel, and Andreas Hansen's at the back. So something has gone wrong for the Los Patos Hermanos car. Also, we have an off Idris Cahill, very off the track there, as well as Casey Jones. So I think they came to blows and have definitely worsened each other's racing line. Oh boy, Matt Gale way out in front. So the interest is going to be in 2nd place here. Sean Young holding off Bearded X Badass and Alan Herrera in the 2nd Cyber Racing Porsche. Mickey Taylor also has a 15-second penalty. So there is that. Kuhn is overtaken Gray and is giving chase to Mike Golfer. Gray in trouble here as Robert Volt is swarming around his back along with Paul Scrivatis, who's in 3rd place for the Iron Drivers. Lots of things shaping up here as we got a lot of cars just going off the track and having moments here in this very wet race here. Gray back on the attack against Kuhn. Robert Volt on his tail. Paul Scrivaris in the mix as well. And at the back there, that's Bacher. And then the first of the stunt possum cars, Pat Fortune, in the background. Scrivaris looking down the inside of Volt. Doesn't really commit, though. Maybe just getting a little bit of visibility there out of the spray. We have Professional Hater off. We'll have a look at what happened to the Barbie Racing Audi. And looks like he just loses the back end. I don't see any contact there with the stunt possum car up ahead of him. Gray is being relegated. That's... Oh, and he nails Scrivaris in the back. Nathan, there's no excuse for that. That's just clumsy driving. And now he's going to go wide and lose a spot to Jeffrey Bacher. That is a bad sequence of turns for Nathan Gray. And behind him it is Fortune and Hines in the stunt possums that are squabbling for a position, but doing it respectfully. Nathan Gray being overtaken by Pat Fortune here, which I'm sure the chat is cheering about right now. He is wrong, their boy! Oh, somebody going full on stealth bomber here. That is, that's Trevor Boris. Or not Trevor Boris. Thomas Boris, I did it. I already did it. Oh my god. I said I was going to try not to do it. I already did it. Oh, contact between the stunt possums. And that opens the door for Boris to pick up some space. That was Idris Cahill and D. Hines having a little bonker. And Gray is just falling back. There's got to be some kind of mistake with Gray's setup right now. He is very out of sorts. And just dropping through the field down to 14th place after being in the top 10. Richard Oakes has worked his way up into third. We missed a little bit of that work. He's overtaken Bearded X Badass as well as Alan Herrera. Although it looks like maybe Bearded may have made a mistake because he's back a couple of spots. And now he's on the Cyber Racing Porsche of Sean Young. By the way, the Cyber Racing Porsche is doing really well. Gale and Young running 1-2 and Hook in 5th place. Very solid work. Hook in the background looking to make a move on Herrera. And Herrera trying to hang on there. And it looks like he will. Good defensive driving by the Ferrari. Hook is not done with him. He switches to the inside. And may have the job done. Yes, he does. So Hook moving up in the world. That's Bearded X Badass in the Mustang, and then Mike Golfer in the Porsche. Red Bull Porsche. Not too far behind is Conrad Kuhn, and that is Robert Volt who's ahead of Kuhn. We missed that. The 306 car has made a move into 8th place for Nubs Racing. David Slater falling down the order quite a bit. Looks like he may have had a spin-off. So the lead belongs to Matt Gale, and it's just getting wider. He's got the best lap of the race at a 2:17.112. For comparison purposes, that is over 1 second faster than anybody else. I know it's early days, and being at the front allows you certain advantages that are not there otherwise. But he does look like he's running away with it right now. We'll see. Richard Oakes continues to pressure Sean Young. And in the background, Herrera is under pressure from Bearded X Badass. Golfer is under pressure from Volt. So there's a lot of action going on right now. Up the inside for the Rust Bucket. And the Rain Maestro once again on the charge. Richard Oakes looking to make it happen. I want to say, it's probably not true, but I want to say almost every wet weather race I've called with Richard Oakes in it, he has won. He is a fantastically consistent driver in the wet. And we'll see if he can reel in Matt Gale. We'd have been losing a spot further back to Professional Hater. And Bacher's up into the top 10. So good work by him. Abandoning the Audi team for Lamborghini this season after a very, very poor defense of his title. He has now moved through all of the Volkswagen brands, starting with Porsche, then to Audi, then to Lamborghini. So, a man who's trying to settle into the VW family somewhere, Alan Herrera overtaking Dennis Hook, who had a bit of a moment, and also loses out to Bearded X Badass. Just a little bit of a bobble there for the Cyber Racing Porsche. Though, to be clear, still 3 Cyber Racing Porsches in the top 6. They're doing fantastic right now. Gale in the lead, Young in 3rd, and Hook in 6th. Bearded X Badass looking down the inside to overtake here at the cutback against Alan Herrera. Might open the door for Hook there a little bit. Still in the background is Mike Golfer as well as Robert Volt. They're still close, and even Conrad Kuhn in the Honda is not too far back. There are battles elsewhere. Chris Stancer and Adam Stewart, two of the bronze protagonists in the championship, are having a good little scrap. It's over 20th place. We'll take a look at that. McLaren versus Lexus. Two brands that I'd really like to see more in GT racing, honestly. Lexus and McLaren. Big fan of both of these cars. And Adam Stewart is going to barge his way into 20th place. Further up, Robert Volt managed to overtake Mike Golfer. I was blanking on the name there for a second. Let's have a look at how this worked. That's from a ways back, but that's pretty damn clean. Just outbraked him. Robert Volt finds himself in 7th place. Conrad Kuhn also thinking about maybe getting into this action. Alan Herrera is not really sticking with the leaders. He's kind of formed a train here that Oakes and Gale, Oakes, and Young are just using to gun away from the pack right now. And Herrera running in 4th place is a bit of a battering, not a battering ram, but a barricade. That's the word I'm looking for. As Hook goes down the inside of Bearded X Badass. Bearded X Badass trying to say no in the Monster Energy Porsche. Mustang. I didn't say Porsche. I swear I didn't. Trying to hang on against the Cyber Racing Porsche. And he will. All right, Richard Oakes, now that he's gotten into 2nd place, is actually putting some pressure on Gale. He's got the gap down to 7.3 seconds. It was over 8. So yeah, Oakes in the Rust Bucket is on a charge, and that Mustang is sliding all over the place. Dennis Hook would like to get past it ASAP. He's down the inside. We're here at a prime overtaking opportunity at one of the cutbacks. And can he get the job done? The answer is no. The Mustang hangs on to that 5th place, which is allowing Herrera to get away now. Volt, Golfer, Kuhn, And Bacher in view. D. Hines is doing quite well today. Shout out to him. 11th place in the Stunt Possum BMW. Solid day all around for the Stunt Possums. They got Pat Fortune in 12th place as well, and Idris Cahill is running in 14th. A little side-by-side action. Bearded X Badass still hanging on. And now Hook's problem is that Robert Volt has caught him. And this is a great rivalry we have. Hook versus Volt. They have fought multiple times for the championship in the bronze category, and now they are taking their talents to the silver category to battle it out for a championship as well. And Scrivaris is coming back. Yeah, he's moving up in the world. He's up to 15th place. Leading the likes of Perry, Boris, Hayter, and Wiedemann. And Stewart. What's his pace like? 2:19. He's faster than both of the Stunt Possum cars ahead of him. And Nathan Gregg. So yeah, he's in a pretty good spot. By the way, Cahill has gone off the track and fallen back to 17th. So we're just waiting for that. Yeah, there it is. Just waiting for that time update as he slides down the order. I think our eyes are going to be peeled on this battle for 5th, though, for a while. You cannot have a boring moment with this Mustang. Oh, we got an overtake in progress. Adam Stewart apparently had some contact. We'll see what happens. So there's Stewart in the Lexus. There is Wiedemann in the Porsche. And that is Chris Stancer behind them in the McLaren. And, okay, Stewart just kind of twitched out the front end there. Lost a couple of spots. Casey Jones also off the track. Can we go on board with Porsche? Any particular Porsche you were thinking of? But yeah, sure we can. Let's hop on board with Mike Golfer. Currently running in 8th place in the Red Bull Porsche. That is Robert Volt up ahead of him. And ahead of him is Dennis Hook. And ahead of him is Bearded X Badass. And ahead of him is Alan Herrera. He's going up all the way to 4th place. And also Conrad Kuhn in 9th place with him as well. One moment here. I need to investigate something. Okay, it was just a glitch. Okay, we're fine. Matt Gale had a little bit of a timing glitch where he fell down the order, and I was like, what happened to our leader? But no, it was just an internet issue. Although, my God, he is being blown out of the water right now by Richard Oakes. Oakes just did a 2:16.342, fastest lap of the race by almost a second. And somebody is caught up in here. Who is that? Is that a lapped car? That would appear to be a lapped car getting out of the way. That's Max Cruz, who is having a rough day. He finally got his livery. He's got his livery up and running now, and he's having a rough day. Has he pitted? Okay, he's been into the pits. Yeah, we got a couple of cars coming in early. Maybe people who have misguessed their setup, their ability to handle this particular track. And Cruz is one of them. Adam Stewart's also into the pit lane. And it would make sense that Cruz, who is struggling well below where we're used to seeing him, he is my pick for the Iron Championship after all. And Stewart, who we've seen off the track a couple of times, are maybe the ones to want to gamble and try and figure out what's wrong with their setups right now. Picking up Adrian Marud as he battles with Matthias Wiedemann. Marud, also a championship pick of mine. Not doing great today. He is, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He is 8th in the category right now. And also off his professional hater having a moment in the Audi. Bearded X Badass. Back up on the tail of Alan Herrera. He's gotten a little bit of breathing room back to Hook. And Volt. And Golfer. And Kuhn. It's Sean Young up ahead, who was pulling clear of this group, but lately, with the fight with Herrera kind of pausing itself, has kind of slipped back into his clutches. Oh, contact! Nice save! Bearded X Badass with an early candidate for save of the day, hanging on to 4th place. Dennis Hook all over the back of Alan Herrera now. Robert Volt all over the back of Dennis Hook. You can still see Golfer and Kuhn in the background. A couple of cars a little bit more distant. That would be Bacher and the possibly a lapped car. Probably Cruz still being lapped. Scrivaris has made up some ground. He's got past D. Hines, although Hines has tumbled down the order, so something happened to him. Still hanging on ahead of L. Perry, but has overtaken Nathan Gray and is up into 12th place. That is the stealth bomber of L. Perry behind and Nathan Gray. In the Los Patos Jarabanos, Aston Martin. We have a car off. That is Casey Jones in the Stunt Possum Ferrari, who was the iron pole sitter. It has not really come together for him, though, if we're being entirely honest. Is Scrivaris in top 3 right now? Yes. Iron standings right now. It's Kuhn, Fortune, Scrivaris, Gray, and Boris. That would be your top 5. For silver, it's Gale, Oaks, Bearded X Badass, Hook, and Volt. And for bronze, it is Young, Herrera, Golfer, Bacher, and Cahill. Herrera looking feisty. But so is Dennis Hook. Hook looking down the inside here as they hit the cutback. And that is going to be an overtake for 5th place. So 3 Cyber Racing Porsches now in the top 5. Impressive work. Idris Cahill is catching Thomas Boris at a rate of knots. And if there's one thing I've learned in 3 seasons of watching Idris Cahill race, there's not a lot of patience in the Stunt Possum driver's repertoire. And first opportunity he gets, he goes past Boris without any real issue. Further up, L. Perry. Still in touch with Scrivaris as well as with Nathan Gray. Richard Oakes still ripping it up. He's the only man in the 216s. Dominant pace from the Rust Bucket Porsches. He is now 1.2 off the lead. When he hits about half a second, we'll probably pay attention to that because then a move might be on the table. Got another pitter. It's D. Hines, who is down a couple of laps. So he must have had... Oh Lord! Okay, I said we were going to go here when it was within a half second. I didn't think it would be now. When I said that, it was 1.2 seconds. What the heck happened? Gale's made a mistake. and is now under pressure. He has got the rust bucket breathing down his neck. That's Adam Stewart up ahead. Adam will most likely be very cooperative when the blue flag comes out. That is his reputation. Dennis Hook. He's gotten one spot, taking Alan Herrera, who's also lost out to Robert Volt. He would like another. He would like Bearded X Badass. Everybody's been saying a lot of nice things this season about Bearded X Badass and how his pace is coming along. And he left Audi, so I don't care. But it does seem like the Mustang suits him. He is putting up some excellent times right now. Mike Golfer off the track. What happened to you? That's Conrad Kuhn in the Honda. Oh. Just kind of lost it. Just a little flip around. And rejoins the race. Also has lost a spot to Bacher, though. Professional Hater in the pit stop. One pit stop required here today for the record. And we briefly had a yellow flag for Dennis Hook. I don't know why. Down the inside. And that's another spot for Hook. Top 4 is all Porsches. Cyber Racing has hit a home run today. But can they bring home a victory? That's the question, because the only non-Cyber Racing Porsche in the bunch, Richard Oakes, seems like the one who has all the momentum. I don't know about that. My results with the Mustang have been very, very mixed, but I haven't given up on it yet. At some point over on my YouTube channel, I'm gonna do a Mio drives all the GTs in ACC, and we'll see how horrifying some of them get. I just gotta get my sim rig back up and assembled. There's some spots in the room right now that where it was that have some stuff in it. I gotta clear that out and get the rig back up. Maybe you'll even see me join an Evolution Racing Academy grid, and then you'll see me get my butt whipped by a bunch of drivers I've been talking smack about. El Perry and Mike Golfer are in the pits. Bearded X Badass is trying to get back past Dennis Hook. Sean Young is having a fantastic day. A guy in his first season of bronze competition. He is a former Iron champion, so it was a long time coming. But his second season with Porsche, and he's really showing a lot more this season with the Cyber Racing boys. They've got him up to pace. And I'm loving it. I'm personally loving it. Andreas Hansen's in the pits. And Robert Volt says, I would not mind being the top non-Porsche, if you please. Overtakes Bearded X Badass. And Alan Herrera in the mix as well. And not too back. Not for nothing. Iron driver Conrad Kuhn, 8th place. Largely on merit at this point. And doing a phenomenal job. In fact, Kuhn is the 3rd person in the 216s. I smell a promotion. I smell a promotion. I don't know if you're going to stay iron very long in the 269 car. I have suspicions. Matt Gale hits the pit lane. Richard Oakes takes the lead. This overlap period is going to be incredibly important. Can Oakes get out there and just absolutely ride that donkey? Or can Matt Gale find some fresh air, some possibly rebalanced tires, and making the adjustments to the car that needs to happen in these changing conditions, and get back out there and doing some good things. That is a professional hater up ahead of these guys. He is one of the cars that pitted earlier. Now I'm very interested to see where Gale comes out. So Gale is rolling. He is behind Jeffrey Bacher as it stands. He'll be overtaken by Fortune, Scrivaris, Gray, probably Cahill. Might get out ahead of Boris, maybe? Maybe? There goes Cahill. And there is the battle between Boris and Stancer. And right on the back of them is Wiedemann. So, actually really important that Gale got out ahead of these guys. And he can try and run away with some fresh air. Conrad Kuhn sporting the factory Honda livery. And driving like a factory Honda driver right now. Doing real well. We saw some great results from Honda last season in the hands of Jack Biddle. And it's a shame we don't see Jack Biddle on the grid right now. Because I would love to see what he can do. But the Honda has done some good things in the hands of Adrian Marud as well. We've seen some very solid work from Lucas Geese in the Honda as well. So Conrad Kuhn, just the latest version. Oh, hey, okay. Richard Oakes is in the pits. He's not gonna let Matt Gale have much of an undercut, which I'm a little surprised about because his car looked like it really had excellent balance out there. Also, I may have just cursed Kuhn as the Honda ends up off the track. Oh, yep. Just lost traction and ends up facing the wrong direction. So he's in the pits as well. Hook's in the pits. Young's in the pits. So we got a Porsche stack. All right. Where is Matt Gale? Let's get the map up on screen. That is where Gale is. Oakes is in the pits. Can the 508 get back in front? Oakes' pit stop shows is clear. He is rolling. There is the rust bucket in the pit lane. But Matt Gale's going to easily overtake him. So, Oakes, if you're going to get this done, I think it's going to have to be on track. Because Matt Gale has played the pit stop seemingly without issue. And has rejoined this race essentially in the lead. Albeit, shown in 7th place. But Volt, Beard X Badass, Alan Herrera, Bacher, Scrivaris, Gray, they all have to pit. So there is, by the way, huge pit stop train going right now. Wiedemann's in, Stancer's in, Fortune's in, Cahill's in, Slater's in. So, as usual, we're about halfway through. We're a little over halfway through, and yeah, the pit stop rush is on. It's two for one. It's all you can eat in the pit lane, and everybody wants a piece. This is Mickey Taylor, who is racing against Sean Young, but has to still make a pit stop. Also has a 15-second penalty for not for nothing. That is Werner Steffen in the orange Mustang getting out of the way. And in behind him, it's Casey Jones, the Iron Pole Sitter, who has had a rough day for Stunt Possum Racing in the Ferrari. Currently runs in 14th place, which is 4th in the iron category. But of course, Kuhn and Fortune, who have pitted, are probably going to be ahead of him as well. So he probably translates to about 6th or 7th, I would imagine, as far as the actual iron hierarchy is going right now. And Scrivaris in the 411 is in the pit lane. Pitting from 5th place and the iron lead. Handing both of those to Nathan Gray in the Los Patos Hermanos Aston Martin. Robert Volt is currently the leader, but yet to pit. He is more looking for that podium. What we're looking for if you're in Volt's corner is you're looking for his lap times in comparison to Sean Young's lap times. And I'll let you know when I have something to compare there. Because right now the last lap listing for Young is his pit lap. And Mickey Taylor is off the track. What happened to the Ferrari? Little horsey on horsey violence. As Casey Young. Casey Jones. Casey Jones gets into the back of Mickey Taylor. Alan Herrera's off, so this has been a really bad lap for the Ferraris. And if I'm not very... Yeah, okay, he's doing this to himself. Gets very out of shape on the brakes. And lucky not to hit anybody. Adrian Marood into the pits. You also have Werner Steffen. So Robert Volt's last lap, 2:18.75. Sean Young's was his pit stop lap, so I still don't have anything to compare. Okay, Volt's in the pits anyways. We'll see where he comes out in relation to the Cyber Racing Porsches of Young and Dennis Hook. Where is Hook? Yeah, Hook is in 9th place. So Hook jumped Young in the pit stop. His crew just outdid him. And that's Alan Herrera also in the Porsche, in the Ferrari. Drive-through penalty for Adrian Marood. I imagine that is a speeding in the pit lane matter. In the meantime, the lead here on home soil has been given to Bearded X Badass in the Mustang. A more American combination you cannot find. Including the livery. Leads the way from Jeffrey Bacher, who is also going along. El Perry on the tail of Scrivaris as well as Fortune. So Scrivaris' pit stop and slightly longer run has netted him some advantages. He has overtaken the Stunt Possum BMW of Pat Fortune, which will probably be a net third in iron. He'll be behind Kuhn for sure. And I think he'll be behind Nathan Gray, who is in the pits right now. We'll see how that works out. Thomas Boris might also be a factor. Idris Cahill in the background in the second Stunt Possum BMW. There are 3 in the field today. D. Hines is the third. They also have the Ferrari of Casey Jones. Adrian Marood in to serve his drive-through penalty. Is anyone but Mickey Taylor yet to pit? Mickey Taylor is the last one to pit. All right. Oh, never mind. Bearded X Badass had Bacher at the front. Okay, so... Ooh, this is not good for Bearded X Badass. Well, he needs to be making great time right now. He is stuck behind the lapped car of David Slater. In the Milwaukee Tools car there. Slater not having an especially good day in the Lamborghini. And he will let him through. And there's Bacher. None of the long runners are doing great laps right now, so I'm not really sure this is working out for them. I'm seeing faster laps elsewhere. And I don't mean just from like Richard Oakes. I mean guys like Mike Golfer. I mean guys like Andreas Hansen, who's kind of coming into his own right now. Albeit in 24th place. The revelation today, though, is Conrad Kuhn. This Honda driver is really putting it together right now, running in 9th place. Probably a net 8th. I imagine he will... Yeah, he'll easily overtake Bacher when Bacher pits. Might not get Bearded X Badass, though. Depends, though. Bearded X Badass right now is losing ground by staying out there. I know it feels good to be in the lead, and it's hard to accept that it's the wrong thing. It's the right thing to give up on that lead, but I think it is. I think right now Bacher is not really doing anything positive. El Perry on the tail of Pat Fortune, who I also have to shout out and give a big round of applause to. Pat Fortune has historically been a driver who struggles, and to see him out here doing good things for that Stunt Possum BMW team is phenomenal. He is running in a net 4th place in class. That is outstanding. Going to lose a spot here to El Perry, I think, before long, but the Stealth Bomber is nothing to be messed with. And the Nissan in the wet is a beast. I think I said net 3rd place. Net 4th place, I meant, in class. Idris Cahill watching his teammate duke it out with El Perry, but the Godzilla is through. Oh, I've got a yellow flag out for Matthias Wiedemann, if I could actually select him. The heck happened here? Okay, so it looks like a connection issue for Matthias. Alright. Okay. Matt Gale continues to lead. He's got actually a pretty good gap after Richard Oakes had to serve a penalty at the pit stop, as well as, I think, made a mistake on his in-lap and had a really terrible time. So that has handed the advantage to Gale. I will say Oakes is running faster than him right now, but how much of that is Gale just being careful, cautious, and how much of that is a legitimate pace advantage? Who's to say? Bearded X Badass, it actually did work out for him, that long run. I didn't think it was. I thought he was putting up some bad times. But he's come out ahead of Hook and Volt. He's come out ahead of Sean Young. He's come out in a net 3rd place. So it's worked out for that Mustang. The large loser, I think, out of this group, as far as the pit stops were concerned, was actually ended up being Alan Herrera, who drops to 7th place. And a reasonably distant 7th place. His battle is now more with Conrad Kuhn than it is with this battle for this quartet battling for the podium, which is a shame. Update at the front. Oaks just did his fastest lap of the race, a 2:16.135. In the meantime, Gale did a 17.42. So we're talking 1.3 seconds in a single lap. There may only be 16 minutes, 17 minutes left in this race, but I for one am not loving the odds of Gale right now. Oaks is just lightning right now. And if he could open up the season with 2 straight wins, that'd be amazing. Kuhn has actually gotten past Herrera. Wow. We'll see if Herrera can get that 7th place back. Still no pit stop from Mickey Taylor, who's in 10th. Mike Golfer also a bit of a loser in the pit stops. He's gone from battling with the likes of Kuhn to being on his own behind, like, Jeffrey Bacher. And to be honest, more important to me, we're probably just not going to see him for the rest of this race because he's just kind of in no man's land in what is eventually going to be a 10th place finish. It's a solid result, but I think there was more on the table for the Dutchman. Professional hater pits again. So a quick rundown of the top 5 in each category. Obviously the top 5 in silver is the top 5 in the race. Gale, Oaks, Bearded X Badass, Hook, and Volt. That's your top 5. In the bronze category, Sean Young has the advantage. Alan Herrera, Jeffrey Bacher, Mike Golfer, and Idris Cahill rounding off the top 5. In the iron category, it is Kuhn from Scrivaris, Gray, Fortune, and Casey Jones. I will largely state that I think there's a solid chance that we have a John Spriggs situation with Conrad Kuhn, though. And we could see a promotion, a corrective promotion from the iron category to the bronze category, which would put him in 2nd in bronze and would promote Scrivaris, which I'm sure the chat loves to hear, to 1st place in iron. But keep in mind, I am not an admin. I have no rulemaking powers. My opinion means nothing. But I do recall people did note when I banged on about John Spriggs last season and Zolder having a very incorrect rating. And I do kind of think that Conrad Kuhn might be in the similar situation. Because for comparison purposes, Kuhn's fastest lap is a 2:16.89. That is faster than anybody else in the race, barring Matt Gale and Richard Oaks. And that's not very iron, if I may be blunt. It's always a bit weird gauging it off of this kind of environment, of course. The wet environment is not something a lot of people practice for a lot, and it's chaotic. It's luckiness to a certain degree. You gotta get the right bend of the cosmic Loki trickster. But I do think his pace kind of speaks for itself. Is Idris Cahill and Pat Ford? Oh no, Cahill's in the wall. Idris Cahill loses control and is in the wall. El Perry is caught up to Scrivaris. That is a lapped car behind them. BMW, judging by the initials on the car, I'm guessing that's Clinton Strobel, who's been lapped. But I'll be honest, I don't have Strobel's livery pierced into my brain. 737, yep. I got it right. I may not know his livery off the top of my head, but I can troubleshoot. Mickey Taylor is finally going to make his pit stop here. with a little over 12 minutes left in the race. He is the last one to make his mandatory stop. And I'm kind of interested how well this is going to work out for him. His laps have not been great. But the Rinaldi Racing Ferrari is in the pit lane. A couple of cars going past. Gray's going to get past for sure. Fortune's going to get past. Cahill should get past. Stancer. Stewart. I'm going to guess he comes out ahead of David Slater. So 19th is my prediction. He's not. Slater's going to get him. He'll rejoin ahead of Casey Jones, who, if you recall, actually did crash into his back earlier in the race. So I call me crazy, but I think that Taylor maybe probably doesn't actually want to be probably doesn't want to be in the bullseye of the stunt possum Ferrari. Just a theory. Just a theory. There it is. Casey Jones versus Mickey Taylor. Back at it again. Hook and Volt having a good struggle over... Oh no! Dennis Hook has a drive-through penalty! A chance at a podium has gone down the drain for Dennis Hook. Werner Steffen makes way for Bearded X Badass up ahead. And the blue flag shows for Hook and for Volt. Drive-through penalty for Nathan Gray as well. So the stewards are getting involved. Clinton Strobel's off the track. Casey Jones going side by side. The American from Stunt Possum Racing going against the Rinaldi Ferrari. The air quote factory Ferrari in the field. And there it is, Casey Jones up a spot. Nathan Gray makes his way into the pits to serve his drive-through penalty. Taylor down the inside of the cutback. And he will get it. But this is costing him all kinds of time that he could be using to try to catch up with David Slater, and he goes wide. And Casey Jones is through. For Jones, there's nothing to lose. He's kind of where he is. He's a little bit too far behind the podium of Kuhn, Scrivaris, and Fortune to really honestly do anything without problem for the top three. And he's pretty secure ahead of Andreas Hansen. So Sean Young overtaking Dennis Hook. Interesting. I assume Hook and Volt maybe had a little hookup. And as a result, maybe slid off the track. And as a result, Sean Young pounced on both of them to get fourth place. Hook's back past Herrera, but still has that drive-through to serve. Put Strobel in the pit lane to try to repair his damage. And there goes Hook. Dennis Hook in for the drive-through. We'll lose out to Kuhn. Probably easily going to lose out to Bacher and Golfer as well. The question is, where does he come out in relation to El Perry and chat's favorite driver, Paul Scrivaris and Pat Fortune? The answer is reasonably comfortably ahead. That's Max Cruz, so that's a lapped car. Meantime, Gale's still losing ground to Oaks at a pretty consistent rate, but it is 8.3 seconds with 3 laps to go, I'd imagine. It's asking a lot. Matt Gale may, in fact, bring this one home. Richard Oaks stands in his way, but he's running out of time. Bearded X at Badass in third. Sean Young in an impressive fourth. Robert Volt, fifth. Alan Herrera, 6th. 7th for Conrad Kuhn. 8th for Jesse Bacher. 9th for Mike Golfer. And 10th for Dennis Hook. That's your top 10. And again, if I break it down by classification, Matt Gale leads from Richard Oaks. Bearded X Badass. Robert Volt, 4th. 5th Hook. 6th Perry. 7th Slater, 8th Mickey Taylor, and that is it for the silver category. And in the bronze category, the point scorers will be Sean Young, Alan Herrera, Jeffrey Bacher. That's your top 3. Mike Golfer, 4th. Idris Cahill, 5th. Chris Stancer, 6th. Adam Stewart, 7th. Matthias Wiedemann, 8th. 9th for Adrian Marood, and that is it. And in the iron category, it would be Kuhn, Scrivaris, Fortune, Nathan Gray, 4th. 5th for Casey Jones. 6th for championship leader Andreas Hansen. 7th for Cruz. 8th for Boris. 9th for Werner Steffen. And 10th for Clinton Strobel. Right now, D. Hines sits on the outside looking in, about 2 laps behind the rest. Field is largely a little separated right now. So, he's leading the race. Matt Gale, you are the star of the show. Let's show us what you got. It's been a tense lead for him, even if it's been a largely long gap for a lot of the race. He did lose about 1.7 seconds last lap to Richard Oaks, though. And that's the problem, is that Matt Gale's been in the lead. And Matt Gale's been in the lead pretty much of this entire race. But Matt Gale has not at any point been the fastest car out there. He's not had the speed of somebody with this kind of lead. And Richard Oaks has had that speed, but because he didn't qualify especially well, finds himself trying to make up ground. Adam Stewart putting the pressure on Nathan Gray. Not an in-class position, but something to have a look at. It's the lapped car of Adrian Marood ahead. My championship picks are not doing well today. The only one that's doing well is Richard Oaks. He was my pick. Oh, Matthias. Well, okay, that looks like a rubber band connect. Yeah, it's a rubber band connection issue. Wiedemann's got some lag issues today, and as a result, his timing is glitching out a little bit. El Perry on the tail of Dennis Hook. This is for class position. This is for 5th place amongst the silvers, and a top 10 overall. Volt catching Young again, as is Herrera. We'll see. Herrera's only 1.7 back of a class victory here. We'll see if he can get it done. I shouldn't say class victory, should I? Because class victory usually implies a car type. This is a rating type. Division? Division would probably be the Best option is Adrian Maroon rejoins after a spin. Alan Herrera putting the pressure on. Now, call me crazy here. I don't actually think this is the way to go. I think if you're Herrera, you want Volt to be driving without you in his rear views. You want him going after Sean Young. Because it's Sean Young you want to beat. It's not... Don't get me wrong. You want to beat Robert Volt too. I'm not going to pretend that finishing 5th in this race would not be an exhilarating experience for Alan Herrera. But the divisional battle is with Young, and Volt is a potential tool for that I would like to see utilized. El Perry versus Dennis Hook. The door is open. The door is open for the Nissan. GTR versus 911. In behind them, that is Scrivaris in the second Porsche. A comfortable second place, possibly Iron Division victory here. There's also a nice little battle going on between Chris Stancer and Idris Cahill. Cahill's car looking a little worse for wear after headbutting the wall. And I think maybe the McLaren could take advantage of this. But it's going to come down to the wire here for 4th place. Sean Young holds it right now. Robert Volt is 7/10 back of him. Another 6/10 back is Herrera. And Conrad Kuhn in the iron car is in the mix as well. The 269 Honda is right at the back of this pack. There could be a mistake. It is wet out there. Let's see what happens. El Perry is still pestering Dennis Hook as well. There's a lot to play for here. Adam Stewart is on the back of Nathan Gray. Again, he doesn't seem to be pushing terribly hard for it, though. Who will bring home for it? The podium is largely a non-story right now. Matt Gale has hung on, it looks like, against Richard Oakes. There is Richard Oakes in the rust bucket. He has had the speed. But that penalty at the pit stop was a big deal. His inability, in fact, literally it is. It is literally the penalty. The penalty difference between Matt Gale and Richard Oakes has Oakes behind Gale. And that may legitimately be it. Herrera got past Volt. Let's have a look. Give me the replay. Give me the replay. No, he's already ahead at this point. Damn it. We missed it. Herrera takes 5th. And he may have a division win here against Sean Young. It is so tight. He hasn't done it yet. Few corners left. Gale is 1. Oakes is 2nd. Badass will be 3rd. Barring tragedy. Alan Herrera is looking for that 4th place. And he may have a run. He may have a run on Sean Young. Here we go. Final corner to the start-finish line. There's Bearded X Badass taking the podium. And what happened to Sean Young? No, he took the checker flag. Okay. He took the checker flag. Okay, Sean Young took the checker flag. 4th place, Herrera, Volt, and Kuhn. Bacher, Golfer, and Perry got it. El Perry has gotten past Dennis Hook. But, Scrivaris has gotten past them both. Oh, my lord. What happened? What happened? So, we've lost it. It's too far. It's too far back for the 15-second replay. But it looks like Perry may have nudged his way past Dennis Hook. And we'll find out maybe in the interviews afterwards. Dennis does tend to pop in. Idris Cahill, despite the damage, will hang on against the McLaren of Chris Stancer, it looks like, to 14th place. And a late drive-through penalty for Trevor Boris. That'll be a time penalty. And yeah, we come across the line. Cahill 14th, Stancer 15th. Adam Stewart. That's a lapped car he's driving against. But he did get Nathan Gray. And secures 16th place. Wiedemann also got Gray. So Gray may have been running out of gas. Almost certainly. Nathan Gray is crawling. He's lost out to David Slater. Can Casey Jones get him? I think, yeah. Casey Jones is also past him. Oh, no. Oh, no. The humanity for Nathan Gray. He's crawling. He hasn't seen the checkered flag. No. The Aston Martin for Los Patos Hermanos is out of gas. Oh. Matt Gale's today's winner from Richard Oakes, Bearded X Badass, Sean Young, Alan Herrera, Conrad Kuhn, Jeffrey Bacher, Paul Scrivaris, L. Perry, Pat Fortune. This is already changing. People are leaving the server already. I'm sorry. I can't give you the full rundown. There's a couple people who've already departed the server. Phenomenal race out there today. Actually, wasn't terribly chaotic for a wet race like this. The drivers showed a remarkable consistency and capability out there today, and I'll give that an applause. All right, let's set ourselves up here for the post-race interviews. As always, we'll give you a showroom. I would say I'll put up a Porsche, but honestly, today is a day about Honda. They had a phenomenal day, so ladies and gentlemen, let me hit you with a little Honda GT3 Evo love. What do we want here? Possibly the Arrows car. I do like the Arrows car. There's also Gradient Racing, which is a custom livery. And Nova Race. Racer's Edge. I do like that one. The Jensen Rocket is very classy. Team Up Garage, Real-Time Racing. We'll go with Arrows Racing. In the showroom. All right. We have people funneling in. We have Matt Gale, today's winner. Welcome to the stage.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good, doing good. Fantastic race today. How does it feel to bring it home in a clearly slower car than the guy that was chasing you?
I'm relieved. I'm just glad he got he beat me last week and he had a bigger penalty to catch up with. So those 5 seconds came in really useful.
So walk us through, like, what were you thinking as you were watching that gap close by a second? Like, were you still confident you could pull this off? Were you looking at I don't know what was going through your head, because you put together a remarkably consistent race out there in very difficult conditions, made a great start, and basically managed to lead the whole time out there. There was, I don't think, any point where you were not the technical leader of the race. I mean, obviously there were Bearded X Badass led for a bunch of laps on track and everything, but there was never a moment where you were not the effective first place car, despite not having the pace that may suggest.
I think that's just the way I race. I'm never normally the fastest guy on track, but I can tend to be consistent and keep it home. I think my qualifying was good. I was up on my last lap, but didn't seem to get any quicker. But luckily it was enough to get me to P1, and that kind of made T1 easier because I had no one around me. I told everyone to brake early in the hopes that they would keep well away from me. And I treated the first 5 or 6 laps like a qualifying session and just was eking out a bit of a gap, which was good. And then probably halfway through the first stint, I got my fastest lap ever, which was a 16 something, 16.7 I think it was, and then realised it wasn't purple and someone behind me was getting closer, so yeah, I was then watching the gap get smaller and smaller and smaller. And I realised I didn't put enough fuel in, so I had to pit slightly earlier. I was hoping to at least hold Oaks up a bit behind me. And then after the pits, I seem to have a much bigger lead, which again slowly works its way down, but just enough long enough to hold on for the end of the race. I don't think I made any bad mistakes, but I quite enjoy the rain, so yeah, I'm happy.
Indeed, a phenomenal victory here. You beat the Rain Master, and you may actually be the first person I've seen do that.
Uh, yeah, I like this car. I like racing with Oaks. A couple of seasons ago, we had a great wet race at Donington where we were side by side for half a lap. So yeah, he's good in the rain, and hopefully I can keep ahead of him in the championship. I think he's going to be
So,
my biggest contender.
just doing some quick maths here. You would have scored 19 points today, came in on 16, so you'd be on 35. Oaks
I think
had 18 coming into today. He would have scored 17, so you are dead even.
I think Did he get pole last week? Because if he got pole
He
last
did
week,
not. He did not. He had no pole, no fastest
okay.
lap. He just won.
He's got fastest lap. Yeah, I was going to say I got qualification, but if he's got a point for fastest lap, then yeah, we're probably
Yeah,
even.
yeah. You were the only person close to him. Well, actually, surprising one. If he pops in, Iron Driver Conrad Kuhn was the third fastest car over a single lap. So
Awesome. Well done to him.
I smell a promotion.
I think there are a lot of bronze and irons that need promotions this season.
It definitely has been closer between the groupings, but I don't know. He's the only one that stood out as like there were no irons that could keep with him today. So if he's going to compete in iron, he's going to kind of just walk away with it. Like he was, like I said, third fastest car over a single lap. He was also very, very consistent. So that's the other thing. It's not like he did a rocket lap and was in the wall every other lap. He obviously couldn't replicate his like 2:16.6 on a regular basis, but he did it and generally stayed clean the rest of the race.
I think that's the key to being quick in races is being consistent. You can have a really fast lap, and there's some drivers around me who've got a really quick one lap pace. But you got to be consistent. You got to keep it up lap by lap, and you got to slowly work your way up the field. And if you crash, then yeah, you can't win it.
I do have to address 2 points in the chat. One, Brandon Harvey, you are not someone who can call for people to get nudged up, given that you were allowed to complete an iron despite being like a second faster than everyone else in iron. And two, Alan Herrera, your livery is not working. I could not tell you why. I don't know what. I don't know the mechanics, honestly, of the collection. But I did update the collection right before the race, and it does seem to be missing you and Thomas Bors. So maybe you and Thomas need to maybe reach out to whoever would actually have the technical knowledge to help you and get your livery sorted out, because you guys were appearing as the blank cars, despite being in the pack. All right. Anything else you have to say, Matt? We've got Robert Volt standing by.
I'm all good. Cheers for the commentary.
Thank you. Thank you. Robert Volt. Welcome to the stage, sir.
Well, hello.
Robert, you're having a fantastic season up here at the first year in silver. You were fourth place in the championship coming into today. You've nabbed another top 5, I do believe.
Yep.
Out there today. Having a fantastic season. 22 points to your name, I do believe. 13 off of the championship, so probably not in that mix necessarily, although it is early days. It does seem to be a bit of a 2-horse race. Your thoughts on the race, how it went, and how you were able to turn in another consistent, solid showing for the Nubs Racing Aston Martin.
Yeah, I will just say that I'm pretty sure that the biggest reason why I managed to nab 5th position is, well, doing a consistent Max Verstappen at the end of the straight. Dive bomb.
The dive bomb. Well, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, admittedly, this track has 2 corners that are just begging for dive bombs, so, you know.
Yep.
I was honestly predicting a lot more carnage than we got, and it was actually a really clean race given the track nature and also the weather.
Yep. I will be pretty sure that I could actually nab a even better position if I didn't, well, sorry for the language, fuck up the last dive bomb of the race.
Yeah, what happened? How did you end up being behind Sean Young towards the end? Because we missed I missed that on commentary. I was watching the battle with you and Herrera and Young towards the end, but it suddenly like kind of reversed order where Sean got past both of you. What happened there?
Yeah. Well, I can mostly just talk about the last lap on that section because I'm kind of recovering from having the flu for like the entirety of the fucking week. So I went for that dive bomb. It was successful. I tried to turn. It continues to go straight and off the track. Shit.
Well, that does happen. Are you trying to claim that this is your Michael Jordan flu game performance here?
Probably, I don't fucking know. I just went into a COTA just being like, I'm sick. I hate COTA. I like the rain. I'm just doing this as a potential a drop round buffer thing.
Well, if this ends up being your drop round, that'll be pretty impressive because
Yep.
you were what today? You were, let's see, the podium was all silver. You were fourth place, I do believe, in silver. So back to fourths. And yeah, that would mean that you are finishing no worse than third the rest of the season to get this one as a drop round. So actually, I don't think it's possible to be the drop round because even if it was your worst result, I think Hungaroring being the same result would actually be the drop still. So it will count.
No. People are just looking at my performance and Cora be like, he's really good in COTA. No, I don't. Please, I don't want to see it no more.
That does happen. In ESR, way back in the day in Race Room, I picked up a victory at a track called Anderstorp. And everybody is like, "Oh, you're really good at that." I'm like, "No, I hate it. You guys just ran into each other, and I picked up the pieces."
Yep. Speaking of race room, I literally drove it right before I hopped into COTA today.
There you go. Made good prep.
Yep. Somehow.
Well, fourth place today. Fourth place last time.
I will say though, a race room is still really fucking fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
Although a few things of it is quite dated, but then again we have iRacing, so there's that.
I mean, Race Room is always going to have a special place in my heart because it's the one that I was able to. I can lure people who don't do racing games in by being like, it's free.
Oh. Well, it's free, and the free tracks that come with it is actually not shit.
Yeah, pretty nice. I like the fictional Race Room Raceway track. It's got some interesting stuff. Portimao is a track I really, really like, and that's also in there. Sepang, I do believe, which I care for less, but it's still not a bad track, and there's a reasonable selection of free cars. Like, I'm not saying that like if you're like really into racing and you get into racing, you're not going to spend money on Race Room. You're going to. But it does make for that low risk entry point that people can have for sim racing.
There a race room event planned? Please, yes. And especially since the out of the free cars, the R52 Silhouette Cup car is quite literally a Audi A1 slightly modified, and it has the I believe it's the 5-cylinder turbo engine.
So yeah, the free stuff is. Let's see here. We'll quickly, just because we're on the topic, we'll give a quick rundown. So in Race Room, if you get it for $0, you get access to the Aquila CR1, the 134 Judd V8, the Canhard and Cougars. I believe you're talking about the Canhard R52.
Yep.
You get access to a couple of prototype cars, DMD P20 and P21, a Formula Race Room Junior car. I didn't even know this. You do get access to a GT3 car, right for free. You get the Porsche 911 GTR 992, as well as the DTM version, which has a swanky livery, which I am a big fan of.
Yes.
And that would be the Toka Sport WRT number 9 car. I like it a lot. So you get that. And, you get...
regarding
a Celine, and you get a very solid selection of stuff.
Yeah, regarding the GT3 car, it's limited from 17th of April to 1st of May, apparently.
Okay, so not full time free. Okay.
Not full time free, but free enough.
Well, yeah, they also do things like that where there's a car that's for free at any given time that usually is included. So yeah, you can even get some sampling done.
And especially since Low Fuel Motorsport is hosting race room events as well, why not?
Indeed. So there you go. If you're looking to get into sim racing, Race Room is an excellent launching pad. It is not my favorite game to play. It is not my favorite. It's not my favorite in any way, to be honest, but it does have a very low low barrier to entry, which is nice. Anything else you want to bring up in the race or just in general there, Robert? We don't have anyone lined up behind you, so you are getting the final word.
Yep. So, basically I just went into the race thinking that it will be my drop run because reasons, and also believing there will be a lot more carnage, but no. And I do believe it has something to do with that. A lot of the drivers that happen to show up is one of the more clean racers that we have in those categories, if I'm not mistaken.
That could be it, but they're not without naming any names. I'm up here as the bird's eye view. I think I have an idea of who the troublemakers can be. And there were a couple out there that I've historically thought were a little bit troublesome, and they kept their noses clean for the most part today. Not saying there wasn't anything. There were a couple of cars on the wall. There was some ill-advised dive bombs. But given that it was COTA, given that it was raining, I'd have to give this a solid A on driving standards.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And the moment you said ill-worthy dive bombs, I just thought back about my fucking Max Verstappen imitations. Just, okay.
Either that or if there was messy stuff, I missed all of it. I don't know. Just very unusual.
Yeah, but then again, I will bid for my farewell, and I will see you guys in the next race, which will be on Donington.
Oh, I hate that track.
Donington. In the hot. Okay. That will definitely be interesting.
All right, Donington Park next up. The championships are... the silver championship looks a little bit too horse race, but the iron and the bronze do look very, very open right now. So we'll see how it goes. And hopefully at least this is still better than, what was it? The Freddie Murley dominance that I got to commentate over, where he was just way ahead.
Yep. I believe you.
All right, everybody. Have a good night. Enjoy what's left of your Easter. I'm going to go get some food, and I'm going to go vote. Because it is election. It's not election day, but the early polls are open, and I'm going to be working election day. So, I cannot vote on election day.